It was a dark and stormy night. Rain lashed against the windows. Inside, 4 teenagers huddled around a flickering candle. They were bored. They were restless. They craved excitement.
I dare you, go inside Blackwood Manor.
A collective gasp filled the room. Blackwood Manor was the stuff of legends, a derelict mansion shrouded in mystery and fear.
Don't be stupid, Max. Nobody dares to go there. It's haunted.
Scared, Emily?
Max taunted, his voice dripping with sarcasm. David, usually the quiet one, surprised everyone.
I'll go.
He declared, his jaw set with determination. Lily, her eyes wide with apprehension, grabbed his arm.
Don't, David. It's too dangerous.
But David was resolute. He wouldn't be deterred. Not this time. The old iron gates creaked open as if warning them to turn back. A cold wind howled through the gnarled trees, their branches resembling skeletal fingers reaching out towards them. The mansion loomed ahead, a gothic silhouette against the stormy sky. Its windows were dark, lifeless eyes staring back at them. As they approached the front door, the air grew heavy, suffocating them with a palpable sense of dread. David reached for the rusted doorknob. It turned with a groan, as if disturbed after years of slumber. The door creaked open, revealing a cavernous hallway swallowed by darkness. The teenagers exchanged nervous glances. A shiver ran down Lily's spine. There was no turning back now. They were committed to their dare, their fate intertwined with the secrets hidden within Blackwood Manor. They cautiously ventured inside, their footsteps echoing in the eerie silence. The air inside was heavy with the smell of decay and something ancient, something unwelcoming. They stumbled upon a room bathed in an ethereal moonlight filtering through a crack in the wall. In the center of the room stood a grand oak table. Upon it lay a wooden chest, ornately carved and strangely alluring. David lifted the lid, releasing a musty odor. Inside, nestled on a bed of faded velvet, lay a board game. It was unlike anything they had ever seen before. The game board was a circular piece of polished obsidian, etched with strange symbols. Silver and onyx game pieces shimmered enticingly. Intrigued but apprehensive, they gathered around the table. This was what they had come for. This was the source of the mansion's legends. They were about to play the ghostly game. As soon as their fingers touched the game pieces, the candles flickered and dimmed, casting long, dancing shadows on the walls. A low hum resonated from the game board, barely audible, but enough to send shivers down their spines. The game was played with dice. Each roll corresponded to a symbol on the board, but there were no instructions, no rules, nothing to guide them except their intuition and a growing sense of unease.
I hear something.
Lily whispered, her eyes wide with fear.
It's just the wind.
David said, though his voice lacked conviction. He was beginning to feel uneasy too. Something didn't feel right. The whispers grew louder, morphing into distinct voices, cold and ethereal, swirling around them. The voices seemed to emanate from the game board itself, whispering their names, their fears, their deepest secrets. They looked at each other, their faces pale in the flickering candlelight. The game had begun. With each roll of the dice, the shadows in the room seemed to twist and writhe, taking on grotesque forms.
Guys, do you see that? The shadows, they're moving.
This is getting really creepy. I don't like this at all.
As they moved their game pieces across the obsidian board, the shadows danced more violently, as if agitated by their every move.
Look out! Behind you, Emily!
A monstrous hound with glowing red eyes materialized behind Emily.
What is that thing? It's not real, right?
A skeletal hand reached out from beneath the table, grasping at David's ankle.
Oh my gosh, David, watch out!
Panic started to set in. The game wasn't just a game. The air grew thick with the smell of ozone, making it difficult to breathe. The temperature plummeted, chilling them to the bone. They wanted to stop, to run, but something held them captive. The game had a hold of them now, and it wasn't letting go.
Lily screamed as a cold, spectral hand brushed against her cheek. Tears streamed down her face, a mixture of fear and icy terror.
We have to finish the game, David said, his voice trembling but resolute. It's the only way out of this.
He knew he was right. They had to face their fears, confront the entities they had unleashed. The game intensified. The challenges became more daunting, the apparitions more menacing. They were given a choice: to abandon the game and face the wrath of the spirits, or to continue, risking their sanity and perhaps their souls.
Each round brought them face to face with their deepest fears, forcing them to confront their vulnerabilities, their regrets.
Emily saw her greatest fear materialize before her. The memory of a childhood accident, the guilt and pain etched on her face.
Max, used to hiding behind his bravado, was confronted with his own mortality. The fragility of life laid bare before his eyes.
Lily faced her fear of loneliness, the despair of being abandoned by those she loved the most.
And David, the brave one, the leader, he was forced to confront his fear of failure, the crushing weight of responsibility for his friends' lives. They had almost reached the end of the game. One final challenge stood between them and their freedom: a blood sacrifice. The demand sent a chill down their spines. They could feel the spirits circling them, their presence growing stronger, their hunger palpable.
David knew what he had to do. He made a small cut on his finger, a single drop of blood welling up to the surface.
As the blood dripped onto the game board, a blinding light erupted, throwing them back against the wall.
The spirits shrieked in anger and despair. The room spun, the air crackling with energy, and then silence. They slowly got to their feet, their bodies aching, their minds reeling. The game board lay on the table, its obsidian surface now dull, its power seemingly drained. The mansion was silent, the shadows gone, the air no longer heavy with dread. They had survived. They had faced their fears, confronted the spirits, and emerged victorious.
As they stumbled out of Blackwood Manor, the storm had cleared, revealing a sky awash in the soft hues of dawn.
They shared a bond now, forged in fear and courage, a bond that would stay with them forever. They didn't speak a word, but they didn't need to.
They had played the ghostly game and lived to tell the tale.